Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know that it is a little bit late to be talking about manifesting and vision boards and all of that, but better late than never. I was really inspired by one of my favorite podcasts, The Lady Gang, and also one of my favorite creators on this app here, Miss Rosie, who recently did a manifesting video. It was really cool. She did a whole digital manifesting iPhone wallpaper, which was super cool to see her process and how she did it, and it did actually inspire me to make my own. Kind of just makes us feel like we're getting to start the year on a new path, and it's all bright and shiny and exciting and fun and all of that. 2025, for me personally, has felt so much more exciting, and the possibilities seem so much more than really I feel like I felt in 2024. I was actually looking for my little in-out list from 2024, and so I was going through my stories that I was posting in the beginning of the year from 2024, and it was all just really I feel like there was no true joy, there was no true excitement, enthusiasm for the next year. It was just kind of really down in the dumps. And you would have thought from the way that I ended 2024 that I would not have felt so positive and as excited as I do. I ended 2024 with having shingles, which was not fun. I right before Christmas got diagnosed with shingles, so I spent the entire end of the year having shingles. It was miserable and terrible, and I am so glad that that energy did not follow me into 2025. I don't know if it was just kind of the forced downtime made me reevaluate things and allowed for enthusiasm and excitement to actually come in. But however it happened, it's been great. I still feel so great and so enthusiastic and so positive about what's to come. I kind of wanted to walk through my manifests, my visions, my hopefully what will become all the things that come true in the next year. So I'm going to start with my initial inspiration, which was from the Lady Gang podcast. So they take all of their manifests from the previous year and they kind of review it, see where they went, see what actually happened, what didn't happen, and then they talk about the following year and what they're manifesting. And I just think that's it's one of my favorite episodes to listen to year over year. So yeah, I went and found my 2024 ins and out list, which was kind of the first time I had ever done something like this. I think that was the first year it kind of became the thing to do on social media. So on our ins list, we had more moments like this. It's a photo of my fiance and I. I think that my fiance and I have done a really good job of reprioritizing kind of us as a unit and making sure that we stay centered. That journey kind of really started, I think, really with the pandemic. I think was really when it was not that it wasn't ever important to us before, but I think that that time period, it became even more so important for us. We as a unit come first. And I think that we've only continued that. And I really appreciate that about our relationship, actually. Traveling, I did not do this. I don't think I went anywhere this past year. Wow. I had a really good travel year in 2023, mostly thanks to my job. But 2024, wow, that makes me so sad. Continuing to learn to chill the fuck out. I think I solidly can keep that on the ends of that I did that. It's going to be an evergreen project for me as a human. I don't know that I've taken any steps back, and maybe just a baby step forward, but that's progress, and you really can't ask for much more than that. Therapy is on here. I did not start going to therapy in 2024. That is actually a huge regret of mine, but The unfortunate thing is that healthcare does not cover therapy. We'll get there one day, which I guess leads into the next thing, multiple income streams, which I wish I had made happen for 2024. But you know what? That's a lie. That is actually a lie. I definitely could have done more, but I opened up some other income streams. Little baby streams, you know, but an extra $20 a month is an extra $20 a month. So, you know, and you can only go up from there. So I'm not mad at it. Let's talk about the outs. Overthinking, always a work in progress for me. I will overthink to my heart's content. Hurting my own feelings, same thing. I am definitely the type to make up whole scenarios that are not necessarily true in my head and getting my own feelings hurt about them. So that one might stay on the out list for 2025. Letting perfectionism win. This is a constant battle for me, but I think I made baby steps towards it in 2024, which I am incredibly proud of myself for. 2025 will be the year that hopefully, I don't know that it'll ever be gone in me. I think that's just who I am as a person. I guess that's why I didn't say eliminating perfectionism. I said stop letting it win. So, you know what? Wow, that was really deep of me. I did not think that through. But that is like absolutely true, because I don't hate my perfectionism. I do enjoy that aspect of myself on occasion. I do not enjoy when I let it win. That is the issue. And what I mean by letting perfectionism win is when I allow my perfectionism to stop me from doing something that I genuinely want to do, that genuinely makes me happy, or when I let it win to the point where it's in my brain telling me that I'm not good enough, because there's no reason to think that. There's absolutely no reason to think that. Excuses, kind of the same thing. I don't know how much I kept that on the outs in 2024. Shopping because I'm bored. I did not keep that on the outs in 2024. Horrifically so. So that is absolutely probably top of the list, moving to my outs of 2025. I'd say overall, I don't think I did a great job at keeping to my ins and outs for 2024, but that's okay. That's okay. That is totally okay. I'm okay with it. I'm not mad at it. Do I think I could have done better? I definitely do. Do I wish I had done better? Yes. But I'm just like, I have a hard time like feeling disappointed in myself, because I think in the ways that I did grow and learn from my ins and outs and where I am with them only benefited me in a positive way. So anyway, let's talk 2025 ins and outs. My in list is a little bit longer than my out list. Okay, my first in, executing ideas. I have so many ideas. I come up with them all of the time. I have a little note on my phone that is just scrolling. I have ideas after ideas after ideas after ideas, and I just very rarely execute them. And I think that plays into a lot of the things that I wanted to work on last year, like letting my perfectionism win, coming up with excuses, etc., etc., etc. So this is the year. We're going to execute the ideas. We're going to finish the Polly Pocket House. We're going to actually make content about it. We're not going to let my overthinking win that the content's not good enough, or that because I have sub whatever follower count that it doesn't matter, because it's fun and I enjoy it. And that's why we should all be on here doing that anyway. And the right people who care enough to see it will see it, and that's all I can ask for. And really what I want is to have fun doing it, and that's that. My second in is to move my body. I have talked about this a little bit on Instagram stories. Last year I absolutely overcommitted to a workout regimen that was never going to work for me. I had a lot of my friends, and my partner was very into going super hard with it and working out 5 to 6 days a week, and it just was not the right commitment for me, to say the least. I've never been an incredibly big gym girly, and by not really, I mean never. It's not been my thing, like, whatsoever. So like going from 0 to 5 to 6 days a week was just really not my jam, and all it ultimately led to was me quitting entirely. So what I ultimately landed on when actually thinking about what my goals were with my own body, my relationship with my body and everything like that, was I just want to move my body. Like, I just want to move it in a consistent fashion. And it doesn't have to be so many times a week. It doesn't have to be to a point where I'm stressed out or crying because I can't get something right. Like, I don't care that much. So I dropped to 3 days a week. I also switched gyms. That helped a lot, I think. I'm not sure why. Our previous gym was just one of those kind of run-of-the-mill, cheapy, bottom of the barrel, you get what you get type of things, and it served its purpose. You know, got introduced to the idea of working out there, which was great. But my new gym has a sauna and like a hydro massage machine. The music is good and the lighting is good, and it's just overall a little bit more fun. I'm into it. Makes me happy. I don't feel like I'm walking into a dingy, dirty, smelly, gross gym. Feels a little bit more, I don't want to say luxe. It just feels a little bit nicer. So I don't feel depressed going into it. Anyway, my third one, which is just the word consistency. I want the word consistency to be at the forefront of so much that I do. I think that it really just falls into like everything that I've spoken about. The gym, I want to be consistent with it. Executing my ideas, I want to be consistent with it. Some of the other things that are on my list, I just want to just consistency. Like, just keep doing it. There's never a reason to truly quit. You can readjust where you're going with it. You can make it work for you. But if it's something that you truly want, nothing should stop you from getting it done. My next one is advocating for myself. Again, this is really in a lot of aspects. I need to keep this in mind, but the big one that I was kind of thinking of when I put it on my list is medically. I guess it was 2 years ago at this point. I like finally spoke to somebody about like figuring out if it was possible for me to go through an ADHD assessment, and the first doctor that I went to, you know, wanted me to also go through the assessments for depression and anxiety first, which I did. And his recommendation was to try going on an antidepressant for a little while and see if that maybe targeted some of the issues that I was feeling were ADHD symptoms. So I did that, and definitely one of the best things I've ever done. I think it changed my life for the better. But I definitely do still feel that a lot of the symptoms that I think that he was thinking might go away by being on the antidepressant are still around, that are definitely more ADHD leaning. So I definitely want to speak up for myself. I want to push for that assessment and see where that goes. Next thing is prioritizing me and mine. That might sound really selfish, and if it comes across that way, I am sorry, but let me explain. I think that, you know, a big thing that I learned early on in the pandemic was how much of me and my energy and my time I was dedicating to something that wasn't mine, my job. So I formerly worked in hospitality up until the pandemic, and losing that in the manner that I did really made me realize, and having nothing replace it. I guess that's so, losing my entire industry, my job, not knowing what the outcome of that was going to be, and then not having anything to replace it because we all had nothing, was so eye-opening for me. And I really realized how much of my time, my energy, my entire personality was my job. And I did not like that. I did not like sitting with myself in the times of boredom and realizing that without my job, I did not know who I was. I didn't know how I liked to spend my time. It was incredibly eye-opening. So this has always been a priority for me since then, to not let myself lose myself in anything that wasn't mine ever again. I am happy to be number one cheerleader for all of those things. My current job, I'm so happy with it. I'm so happy to be where I am in it and championing what I do with my job. But it's just more remembering that me and mine come first before a job, before a friend, before family, before anything else. I really always think about the analogy, like, again, this is because I come from the hospitality world. It's like I need to close my own house if I'm going to be closing someone else's. And then my last in, which is a little bit more of a silly one, is 2025 is going to be my best hair year yet. I really have neglected my hair over the last, I don't even know how many years. I cannot remember the last time that I think I was like truly happy with the way my hair looked on a consistent basis. But that's also my own fault because I never let myself find a hairdresser that I truly enjoyed enough to go back to time over time again. So then I would just let my hair grow out, be horribly unhappy with it, find someone in a panic, dislike it. It was just a sick thing. So 2024, I found a hairdresser that I absolutely love. She gets me. She is a vibe and a half. If you have Instagram, this is her Instagram. She's super cool. She, in my journey of trying to at least figure out what hair color I liked, she took me from pink to bleach blonde, which I don't think was my vibe. And then she gave me this currently. And you know, we're just gonna keep on the hair talk journey. I fell on Hair Talk at the end of last year and it was great. So I started following it since the beginning of the year. I've really figured out a process. I'm trying through some products that, you know, see which ones work best for me. As soon as I kind of nail down what I think is key, I will be happy to share. But yeah, it's great. I found a hairdresser that I absolutely adore. I've gone to her more times in a row than I think any hairdresser across the 10 years that I've lived in New York City. So yeah, we're gonna vibe. We're gonna bring back the good hair. I used to have good hair. I don't know what happened. Moving on to my outs. A lot of my outs are the same from 2024. I just wrote perfectionism, but I actually really appreciate the way that I worded it last year, so I'm going to cross that out and word it the way I did in 2024, which is letting perfectionism win. You can be a perfectionist. Being a perfectionist can be a superpower in some situations, but letting the perfectionism win to the point that I am not getting things done, I am not doing what I love, I am letting my own mind kill something before I even bring it out into the world. Done with that. We're out. It's gone. Shopping because I'm bored. Gotta go. Gotta be done. If I'm bored, I should be doing something that I love. I mean, I do love shopping. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm bored, I should be creating. There is always a project that I could be doing that is much more productive than shopping. And if I am gonna go shopping, it needs to have a purpose. There was way too many times last year that it was just like, oh, I need to get out of the house. Oh, I'm bored. I very intentionally did not want to do something like a no spend year, no spend month, no spend week, whatever all the no spend things. That is not my vibe. I know that would not work for me. What I think I would just want to be is a little bit more intentional. I'm not just going to be going shopping because I'm bored. If I'm gonna go shopping, it has to be like I need something. There is a reason. It is not just, oh, I want to get out of the house. Oh, I want to go do my, Target Home Goods, TJ Maxx, get a crispy Diet Coke from McDonald's, little rotation, as much as we love that. But make it intentional. If that's what I'm gonna do, make it a friend date. or have a task, like something that I need to do or something that I specifically need to get. There was way too many times last year that it was like, oh, I'm just bored, let's go. The phrase, I'll do it tomorrow, that is a huge thing for me that I would like to eliminate entirely from my thoughts. Like, you could just do it today. There's nothing stopping you. That doing it tomorrow, like, get up, get ready, get dressed, do it today. Feeling small, which is one that I think is actually a little bit left over from some pre-pandemic issues that I had, most notably with a job. I'll give like the Cliff Notes version of it. In 2018, I got my dream job, which I was super excited about. I kind of thought that this was the trajectory of my career. I wouldn't say that I thought I had hit the tippy top, but it was topping out at where I was. I was really proud of myself. I was super excited for where it was going to go, and it did not go well whatsoever. It ended up being one of the worst years of my life, which was not fun to experience. And I let two individuals make me feel so incredibly small. I let these people take away my joy over something that I thoroughly enjoyed. I let them take away pride that I had in something that I had achieved. There's just so many levels to it. And I just never want to get back to that feeling ever again. And then my last thing is overthinking, which is another one that came straight on back from the 2024 list. I am a massive overthinker. Again, this kind of goes with letting perfectionism win, is I overthink the thing to death, and it's not perfect, so I don't do. So the overthinking has got to go. It comes in a lot of it. It's not just with the perfectionism. I overthink so much, and it just doesn't need to be that way. Just do. Like, what's the worst that can happen? I don't have to think it through. Here's the thing. I like to overthink it so that I think of every single outcome that could possibly happen, so that when the small chance of one of those outcomes happens, I don't get hurt, mad, whatever in the process. I have to let that go. So we'll see where we go with the ins and the outs. We'll see what happens with that. The second part of this video is a little bit more vision board focused, heavily inspired by this lady right here. She is a phenomenal follow here on YouTube. Would highly recommend. I've had a lot of fun going down the rabbit hole of her videos over the last couple of weeks. So I hope that she doesn't mind me using her recent vision board video as inspiration for this, but I just thought it was really a great way to modernize the vision board. I think we all, when we were kids, you take the magazines and you cut things out and you make your little poster board or whatever it might be. 90s, 2000s girls, we had a little bulletin push pin boards with our photos and the little phrases you cut out and everything like that, which is so great. But where am I going to put that? It does not fit into a modern girl's world. So I really liked her idea of making it your phone background. I used Canva to create this. I used all of her tips. Again, watch her video and she'll give you all the creation tips and everything like that. Mine is a lot more chaotic than hers was, but that's okay because I'm kind of a chaotic person. I think some of the things on here are, really obvious. We've got the dumbbells and the kettlebells, again, representing that I want to move my body more this year and be consistent about it. I picked like the sparkliest, pinkest, most ridiculous looking gym equipment because I want to remember to have fun with it. I've got a girl with really long blonde hair to be best hair year ever. We've got money, because who doesn't want more money? We have a plane here. I would love to travel more. I said that for 2024, failed miserably at it. We'll try again this year. My little otters here, again, that's just representing me and my fiance. He is in my phone actually as otter, so that's why we are the otters. I have sushi. Sushi dates are kind of like, have always been our thing since the beginning, and I just want to like go back to that. And I have a KitchenAid. I got really into baking over the pandemic. God. I mean, it was kind of the same. I was quarantined because of my shingles, so I guess it was like singular pandemic in my own house part 2, but I got really into baking and I enjoyed it thoroughly. And I used to be really into baking and I kind of let that go, and I would really like to bring it back. I have the cameras. I've got the Osmo Pocket 3. I've got just a little Instax camera. I just want to be better about recording everything. Again, that's kind of the perfectionism thing that I get into my own head of like, oh, it's not perfect, it doesn't look good, it's not, it doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody wants perfection. Nobody wants to see that. People want to see what's real. You know what's real? Right here? I still have all my Christmas purses hanging here because I haven't put them away. Behind here is a whole box of stuff that was on top of here and I just flooped down. So yeah, recording everything, I guess, goes hand in hand with being real. There's a little kitty on here because we want to get our cat a friend this year. I'm hoping that comes true sooner rather than later. I have been looking, just nothing has felt right yet, but I am confident that it will soon. We have the Polly Pocket here because if you guys don't know, I call my house the Polly Pocket house. It is incredibly teensy tiny, but it is colorful, it's full of fun and everything like that. I did a lot of work on it last year, but I want to, I'm not gonna say finish it because I don't think that it will ever be truly finished, but I would at least like to execute a lot of the ideas that I have. See what I did there? That I have for it in this next year, which I have already started on, and I'm so excited. Stay tuned. We have some photos of the Dominican Republic in here. I have wanted to go to the Dominican Republic, I guess basically since I started dating my fiance because he is Dominican. So we are like 8 years in the making for this trip. Then I have Taylor Swift and Rapunzel on here. Taylor Swift is on here. I have the little Taylor versions thing up in the corner because, of course, as a resident Swiftie, we must always be clowning for reputation. And that is absolutely what this is manifesting. If this is not the year, when is the year? When are we going to get it, Taylor? We're waiting. Bless us with Rep TV. The Taylor at the bottom is there to also just be clowning for the rep. Also debut. I am a debut girly. I have been here since debut. I would love debut TV. Waiting for it. Anyway, also just on here is specifically a photo from Eras Tour because I think Eras Tour was one of the greatest times of girlhood of all time. It was just, I never want to lose that feeling. I don't want to lose that feeling with friendships, just myself and being comfortable with who I am, how I feel, how I want to dress, what makes me happy. Like all of those things should be celebrated in the way that they were with the Eras Tour. So yeah, and then Rapunzel is on here. A little bit of the Becky with the good hair type of vibe, and just remembering where my joy actually comes from. And I will leave it at that. So thank you so much for joining me on my little overview of, review of 2024, overview of 2025, talking about manifests and vision boards and all of that. I am so excited to go on this journey and document it here with all of you guys. And I'm really excited to come back to this in the beginning of 2026 and talk about, what we kept, what our ins and outs were and all of that. So yeah. Thank you so much for joining, and hopefully I will see you guys for the next one. Bye!